What's going on, everybody? Today I'm going to do my full review for the Vivo X Fold 3. Now, first thing I'm going to do is get into the things that I like, and then I'll get into the things that I don't like. Now, I've had this device now for about a month and a half, and I'm loving this device a whole lot, and I'm about to tell you why. All right, first thing I like about this device is the price. You're going to pay half of what you pay for the Z Fold 6. And I'll let you do the math in your head, but you're going to pay half for this device. So I love the price of this device. Next, the presentation. Presentation is nice. Of course, if you watch my unboxing, you've seen that where you actually get a case and you get an 80-watt charging brick and you get a nice quality box. So I love the presentation with this device. Next, the battery life. Now, this is something that most people want to hear about quickly, and I'm going to tell you right now. First of all, this device has a 5,500 milliamp hour battery. I'm getting 2 full days. 2 full days of battery life with this device. That's with moderate to heavy usage, highest resolution, always on display, 100% brightness. That's what I'm getting on this device. 2 days. And keep in mind, I'm not a gamer, so I don't game. So you may get less if you're a hardcore gamer, which I'm not. Next, the 80-watt wired charging. Of course, you get that charging brick in the box. And I can charge this device from 0 to 100% in 42 minutes. 42 minutes. That's what I'm talking about. Next, the 50-watt wireless charging. Still can charge this device in under an hour with wireless charging. Next, the design. I love the design of this device. Now, I know some people are going to think that this camera module is too big, but actually this is not actually as big as the OnePlus Open. The OnePlus Open module, camera module, is actually a lot larger than this. So, this is not bad. And I love the way this feels, but I do like the design of this phone, definitely. Next, the build quality. Excellent build. You got that carbon fiber hinge and it's wrapped in aluminum alloy. Love this. I mean, this is nice. You got this, what do you call this? I forgot. Anyway, this feels nice and soft. And this is a thin device. Now, that's probably one of the things I don't like, really, honestly. And I know there's a lot of people out there that have been wanting a thinner foldable. They don't want a big, thick brick in their pocket. I understand. It don't have to be super thick, but I just prefer something a little thicker than this. It's pretty thin to me, and I don't really care for thin devices. But I will say this, because I actually use cases on all my devices, it's not an issue because the case itself makes the device a lot thicker and it adds extra weight, which I like. I don't like super light devices. I like devices that have a little weight, you know, and they feel a little more substantial. That's me. Everybody's different. Some people love thin, super thin, very light devices. I'm not one of those people. I mean, I don't have to be super heavy, but I just prefer a little more weight, a little more thickness. But the case does that for me, so I'm good with it. Next, the biometrics. Now, the face unlock and the fingerprint sensor on here is excellent. You're seeing right now the face unlock, and you see I'm behind the camera, and you see how quickly it sees me. So it's 10 times better than that what Samsungs give you. And of course, you got a side mounted fingerprint sensor. I'm not a big fan of side mounted fingerprint sensors, but this one works super fast. Like, I mean, really, you see how fast it works. I mean, there's no joke. Usually I press it one time, it opens the phone right up. So the biometrics on this device is excellent. Next, the cover display. Now you have here a 6.53-inch AMOLED display, HDR10 plus Dolby Vision, 120 hertz, 1600 nits sustained brightness, and 4500 nits of peak brightness. So you can see this display is bright. I mean, it gets really bright. It gets brighter than my Z Fold 4. So, and I love that. I love a bright device. Now, with the inner display, you got a 8.3-inch LTPO AMOLED display, HDR10 plus, Dolby Vision, 120 hertz, also 1600 nits sustained brightness and 4500 nits of peak brightness. So basically, you're getting the same brightness on both displays. That's exactly what you're getting. And this display is huge. It's much larger than my Z Fold 4. And if you want, something that literally is a tablet, this is it. This is a miniature tablet in your pocket. And let me see. Let me turn the volume down first. Now, when you want to watch some kind of content on here, let me show you something I was watching earlier, but I have to turn it down because I don't want to have no issues. And of course, I'm not doing black bars, so I know sometimes stuff is going to get cut off, but so be it. That's just the way I like enjoying my content. I want to enjoy this whole full screen, and that's what I'm going to do. So as you can see here, it's absolutely beautiful. You got your little small camera up there in the corner. Of course, you can turn it over and have the camera down here in this corner, but man, this display is beautiful when you're watching content. Now, the same thing. Now, if you want to do it this way, of course, you can do those black bars. But like I said, I don't do black bars. So you want to watch it on the front display, you good to go with the front display. It's excellent. Excellent. Love it. So loving the cover display. And the reason why I love the cover display so much is because it's so big compared to my Z Fold 4. Now, let me show you real quick. Grab the Z Fold 4. Sorry about that. Get this thing straightened out. All right. Turn this on. Now, as you can see, the difference. I mean, you should be able to clearly see how much larger this is compared to this. And I know there's a lot of people out there that still like this narrow display, and that's okay. I'm just not one of them. Okay. I mean, it's doable, it's tolerable, but I much prefer something that's more like a regular candy bar style phone where you literally don't have to open this display in order to, do whatever you need to do on this phone. Like, if you get into Instagram, Facebook, all of those things, which I could show you really, really quick how it looks. This is Facebook right here. Everything is normal. Looks good. You don't have to open it up. You can see everything very easily. Let me see what else here we have here. You got Instagram. Open that up. You can see things here just very easy. No problem. Everything's normal. Optimized for the display on the front. And also, let me see, there go TikTok. See everything normal there too. So now when you open up the big display, of course, and you may think it's not going to be optimized, everything is optimized. See that? Easily see everything fits the whole display. So, I mean, when you're looking through this, you're going to really enjoy this because it's edge to edge. Beautiful. Love that. No big black bars and all that nonsense. Instagram, same thing. You can enjoy it in its full glory. No problems. TikTok, same way. Now, you may have a little bit of, well, say just a little bit, maybe a little bit of black bars on TikTok, but I don't be on TikTok that much, so it's really not a big deal for me. But I mean, it's still huge. And I don't know if you could probably adjust this a little more. I don't know, because I'm really not on TikTok like that, because it pulls me in, then I can't get off of it, so I stay away from it. All right. So next, let's talk about the crease. Now let me see if I could get something that's predominantly white. If I have something like that, I don't know if I do. Not sure. No, that's dark. I'm not sure if let me see. Maybe maps. Okay. But I mean, unless you're looking at it from some crazy angle, you really can't even see it. Honestly, I mean, it's almost like it's invisible. You could feel it, but it's not a ravine like that of the Z Fold 4. So the crease is almost non-existent, honestly. So it's not an issue, honestly. You may see it sometime if direct sunlight might hit it. But other than that, the crease is excellent on here. It's much better than the Z Fold 4. Much better. It's barely noticeable. Next, let's talk about performance. Now, this is using the Snapdragon Generation 2, but that's not a problem because this phone is super fast, super smooth, as you can see, just popping in and out of stuff. I mean, it's super fat. Like, I'm telling you, I'm loving how fast and smooth this device is, how it goes in and out of apps. Here you got your multitasking. Everything is smooth. Everything is just really fast. So I'm loving the performance of this device. I love it a lot. It's much faster and smoother than my Z Fold 4. That's just a fact. Next, I like the software. Now, I don't like it as much as I like it on the Samsung. I do prefer Samsung One UI more so than Origin OS, but Origin OS is not a bad software. Now, they have room for improvement without a doubt, but you do get 3 years of software and security patches, which I think you should get more than that. But I mean, that's still not bad. It's still lagging behind when it comes to other OEMs that's giving you 7 years. But 3 years is not horrible. It ain't like it's 2 years. Then I'd be a little more upset. But 3 years is not bad. But I like the software. There's a lot of customization you can do to this. A lot of things you can tweet. A lot of different things you can change with this. Because if anybody out there watched my my settings review for my Vivo X Note, it's pretty much the same. Very, very similar. Now, if y'all want me to do a video just for the settings, I can do that. But it's pretty much the same, to be honest with you. I mean, there's some changes because this is a foldable. So there are some things that are that's going to be different. But for the most part, it's pretty much the same. All right. Next thing I like is the dual stereo speakers. Now, I did forget to set up some music to play. I'm trying to see if I put, yeah, I didn't put, let me see if I put Transformers on here. Yeah, I usually will put that on here, but I didn't even download that. So I really can't play the music. I don't have anything set up. But just trust me when I tell you, the dual stereo speakers on this device are really good. They're much louder than that of the Z Fold 4. No question about it. These things get really loud. Now, I wish my Vivo X Note speakers were as loud as these. These are much, much louder. That's one of the things that hurt that device, in my opinion, because I like, everything really loud. But these are really, really good. Now, they lack a little bit of depth of sound, but overall, they're excellent. I love the dual stereo speakers on the Vivo X Fold 3. Next, extended RAM. Now you can you can extend the RAM on here. Like it comes with 12 gigs of RAM, but if you have the storage capacity, you can add 12 more gigs. So now I'm using 24 gigs of RAM on here. So there's really no need to worry about getting a larger variant for RAM. Now, most people, if they get a larger variant, it's because of internal storage. Like this is a 256, configuration, but of course they got 512 and they got 1 TB. But gig RAM is not an issue because you can extend the RAM. So currently, I'm using 24 gigs of RAM, and the RAM management on this device is excellent. Next, the alert slider. Of course, you got the alert slider. Probably easier for me if I close this right here. And I like that because you can go from from silent, to hearing something. It's not quite as versatile as the alert slider on the OnePlus, but you can silence this device by, pushing it up and then turning it back on. It just doesn't have a vibrate, a silent, and the regular thing. It just has silent, and then you have the let me see. Did that vibrate? Yeah. It's basically vibrate, and then you have the regular sound. but I still like the fact that they even have that. So I like that. Next, the IR blaster. Now, I'm a big fan of the IR blaster, and the reason for that is because it's not just about TV. So you go on the Me remote, you press up here in this corner, and you can see all the other things that you can use with this IR blaster. Okay, TV, setup box, fans, AC, smart box, projector, DVD player, AV receiver, camera. So it's not just about TV. So I love having that universal remote built into the phone. Next, let's talk about flex mode. Now, you do have flex mode on here, just like most foldables do. Just fold it like that. There's your flex mode right there. Whoop. Maybe it's probably better on this side because the camera module is kind of heavy. So you have it right here. So if I want to look at a YouTube video, of course, I got my touchpad down here. I can do what I need to do. So flex mode is definitely on here. Flex mode is also, you can do flex mode on the camera. Let me show you real quick. So you even got flex mode on the camera as well. Now, of course, yeah, this is the way you want to do it. Well, yeah, that's the way you want to do it. But I can switch that. But this does have flex mode. So flex mode is not an issue. If you're watching a movie, say you go into albums and you want to watch a video, let me see, bring up, those are photos. Let me see. Because I was video, there you go. So say if I was watching a video and I wanted to play it and I wanted to go flex mode, there you go, flex mode. Okay, so you good. You got flex mode on here. It's not a problem. Now, let me show y'all something. This is another one called Tint Mode. Now, I like this one. I like this one a lot. I think you got to turn this off. And you turn this over like so. And you put it like that. Check that out. That's Tint Mode. That's what you do when you set it up like that. Now, there's different clocks besides this one. But the only thing I don't like about this is you only can use this for 30 minutes like this. Just 30 minutes. I hate that. I just wish you could use that all the time. Like that could just stay on all night. Because it's not that bright. You can wake up in the middle of the night, check the time, and you could easily see it. But I like that. I think Apple has something similar to that, not called Tint Mode, but something like that when you turn the phone over inside and gives you this big clock, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So I love Tint Mode. All right, next, let's talk about multitasking. Now, they do have different ways of multitasking on here. I'm trying to remember. So first, I already have some set up here at the top, the ones I use the most. So say I want to do YouTube and Amazon, of course, you have that here. You press these little buttons in the middle, these 3 buttons, and it gives you some options. You could swap the apps, press it again. You could, portrait, split screen I could do, but you can save the combination too. But you could do portrait, split screen if this wasn't already saved like this. I can do that. Let me see. Oh, and if you want to do split screen, say if I'm in an app, say if I'm in Facebook, right? If you want to do it this way, you just kind of close it like this and open it back up, and it automatically does this. And then you say, let me pick something, say I'll do Kindle. Automatically gives you the multitasking. So all you're doing is just, and then when you go in here, well, you can flip it this way. I'm not sure why it's not doing it at the moment, but I can save this combination if I want to. But that's kind of cool. I like that. So all you got to do is like this, and it automatically goes in, the split screen mode. Or you can do it this way. You can go up here and do it that way. Press it that way, do split screen. So there's different ways. Then you find something that you want to do and you put it together. Okay. I don't know why the portrait split screen is not available. I'm not sure what happened, but I have to figure that out. So the split screen multitasking is good. Not as versatile as Samsung. It's just not. Samsung's is better because you could just keep adding more and more apps. You can add an extra window on this one too in the middle, but Samsung, you can add like 5 different apps, to split screen. So it's much better on the Samsung. I'm not going to lie about that. And last but not least, let's talk about the cameras. These cameras are awesome. 50 megapixel wide with OIS 50 megapixel telephoto with 2 times optical zoom, 50 megapixel ultra wide. You can record video 8K 30 frames per second, 4K at 30 and 60, 1080p at 30 and 60. And of course, on the front facing cameras, the cover display and the inner display both are 32 megapixel wide and can shoot video at 1080p at 30 frames per second. Now, the cameras on this device are excellent, but that's my opinion. But I'll let you guys check out the photo samples and the video samples, and you can judge for yourself. All right, let's talk about the things that I don't like about this device. Now, of course, with any device, there's always going to be things about the device that you don't like. That's with anybody. Okay. Number one, the always on display. And you may say, why the always on display? Because it doesn't display any of your notifications. Like you see on my Samsung, you see the notifications. You're not going to get that with the Vivo. I don't know why it's set up like that. Now, keep in mind, this is the Chinese ROM. But that's not Chinese ROM. I don't think that's the problem. I think that's just the way Vivo does it. Because Xiaomi and other, OnePlus, you can see all your notifications on the always on display. Vivo, that's something, if you're listening, that's something you need to change and fix because it makes no sense for us not to be able to get all our notifications on the always on display. What good is having the always on display if you can't even see your notifications? It's nice that you can see the time, the date, the day, the battery percentage. That's all cool, but it'd be nice to be able to see your notifications. So that's the first thing. Number two, now this may be a deal breaker. Excuse me, sorry about that. This may be a deal breaker for some of you out there. You cannot use Nova Launcher on this device. It just won't, it's just not compatible. Every time you go to swipe up to go back to the home, it's going to go right back to the original launcher. It's just not going to hold. So for those of you that just have to have Nova Launcher, you're not going to be able to use it on this device. It's just not possible. Now, unless it's some kind of workaround that I don't know about. Number three, no 4K at 30 or 60 on the cover display or the inner display. Now, I don't like that because anytime you're talking about a device that costs over $1,000, which most of these foldables do, I can't even get any 4K at 30. Come on now, that's ridiculous. And no 1080p at 60, which is shocking. You get 1080p at 30, but that's just crazy. So I don't like that either. Number four, this device should get they should offer at least 4 years of software updates and security updates. At least 4 years. Now I give you 3, which is not terrible, but considering what Samsung is doing, what Apple's doing, of course, what Google is now doing, that is a lot. They giving you 7 years. Now, if people are going to hold their devices that long, I don't know. I can't speak for everybody. More than likely, it just depends on the person, but if you're a latest and the greatest, or if you're a person that's highly into, tech and the newest device that comes out, you're not going to hold your phone that long, not no 7 years. And we don't still know if they're actually going to deliver on 7 years of updates because, we got to wait and see if they actually give you all 7 years. See how late they gave us Android 15, Google. I mean, really, really late. I mean, it's crazy, but we'll see. But yeah, I think 4 years would have been better. 5 years, I think would have been cool, but only 3 years, not good enough. Number 5, you can't use the whole display for your apps and widgets. What I mean by that is, let me show you. Now you see how stuff is half over here, half over there. You can't set things up for the entire screen. You just can't do that on here. I tried it. You just can't do it. Now with Samsung, of course, you can do that. You see this? See how everything is right in the middle? This is right on the crease, like right in the middle on the crease. And this is not Nova Launcher. This is regular Samsung's, OS. But you see how everything goes across? See how everything is using the entire screen? See my calendar? The entire screen. You can't do that with the Vivo. You can't. You see how everything has to be on each side. You can't do that. And I don't like that. I should be able to use this whole display as one thing to put all my stuff on it. This is the way I prefer to use. This is my setup that I like. But you can't do that with the Vivo. You just can't. I don't know if you could do it with OnePlus because mostly everybody that's, I've seen videos on foldables, everything is side to side like this. So I don't know if it's just Vivo or it could be all of them, but I don't like that. I like the versatility with the Samsung of being able to use the whole display, not half and half. I just don't like that. And the last thing I don't like about this device, no headphone jack, no expandable storage, which I know is the norm. Why even bring it up? But it's something I don't like. So I have to say something about that. Okay, I don't like that. All right, so that's pretty much my full review on this device. I really love this device a lot. The battery life is insane, 2 full days. The performance is excellent. It's super fast and super smooth. I love the build quality. The biometrics are excellent. The speakers are great. The cameras are unbelievable. I love them. I mean, I just love, and I love the OS. It don't bother me. You know, it's a Chinese variant. You know, you're not getting Google feed, but I don't use the Google feed anyway, so I don't care. But when it just comes to what's overall performance and everything that comes with this device, it's excellent. I mean, I love it. I could recommend this to anybody. Now, oh, I did forget one more thing that I don't like is that this device is not available in North America. Now, you could have it imported like I did, but you can't get it through a carrier. And for most people over here, they're not going to buy this device because most people just can't pay straight up money for a whole device. A lot of people have to, get on a payment plan and add it to their, phone bill. And I understand that. I really do. Now, I don't do that because I'm not going to pay full price. I'd rather wait and get it at a discounted price. But a lot of people, that's their only option. And it's just a shame that companies like, OnePlus and Xiaomi and Vivo and all these other places that sell excellent products can't sell these over here in North America. It's unfortunate. But I will say you can use it if you buy these because this is on AT&T and it works on T-Mobile. I'm getting 4G. Now, having 5G is not a big issue for me. 4G is fine, but everything is working fine as far as phone calls and things like that. Not having any issues. I get all my notifications in real time. So overall, this is an excellent device and I absolutely love it, especially this large cover display. I love how big this is. I love the build of this phone. It's not super heavy. I mean, I just love it. So, can I recommend the Vivo X Fold 3? Absolutely. I definitely would take it over the Samsung. That's just my personal opinion. Now, I know Samsung just came out with this special edition, but it ain't even available here in the States where they give you a display, a cover display this size and an inner display this size, which they should have did with the Z Fold 6, but of course they didn't. And they actually had the nerve to give for the special edition that's not available in North America, give them a case and a charger in the box. Why they give us nothing? Don't figure, does it? But that's my full review of the Vivo X Fold 3. I hope everybody out there is staying safe and staying well. And I'll check you guys out in the next one. Peace.